Welcome back, and I am all painful. And this is basically the Horde base. This is part 2. I'm going to run it again. This is what it looks like when you use the flat ones, which is actually my preferred method. If you use flat instead of angled, of course they fall off the maze less, but they are slowed a lot more by the barbed wire. Now there is another option, and that's the fact that normally when you shoot something, it obviously falls away from the shot. So if you instead of having it go zigzag in front of the windows, you can have it go around the base over and over again and spiral out. And with the slowing effect of barbed wires, you should be able to have no problem shooting everything. And if you put the barbed wire on the base side, then when you shoot anything, if it falls away from the shot, it should fall off. So that's another method of doing this. The whole point about this is elevated maze, so if anything falls off, it has to start over, and barbed wire for slowing. That is its purpose. Now, what path you use for the maze is irrelevant. I mean, you could zigzag this way, back and forth over here for a while, and then go around to this side and then zigzag if you wanted. It's irrelevant. It's however you want to do it. The main point of it is central base and zigzags with the cage. Elevated so you can knock stuff off. Now, obviously I'm in creative mode, showing this off. Of course, as I said before in my first video, bring the torches up a level so you can see even better. It's doable when you have when you're using the flat blocks. This also means that everything's going to run at the same height, which means headshots will be easier. So you can shoot everything in the head a lot easier. And let me show you the slowing. See, this is a slowing effect of barbed wire. And this is me running in barbed wire. And yes, this would be a zombie running in barbed wire. Would be that slow as well. So, and of course, as I already pointed out, I like to use torches in my Horde base, as well as put my forge, chemistry, and campfire in the Horde base because, well, if it spawns a screamer, where else would you rather one spawn than near your Horde base? So, what we're going to do is, first off, I forgot to show you my perks in the last one, like I said I was going to. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here to show them to you. And as I said, nothing outrageous. I got 5 perception and some shades, so 6 perception basically. Boom headshot is the only perk I got that does damage. And then I got my lucky looter salvage operations as usual. And then of course, if I come over here, I got healing factor and slow metabolism 1 and fortitude 2. And then if you come over here, this is all crafting levels, so it doesn't matter. This was me trying to make this test realistic by putting the points realistically where I would put the points. Speaking of which, I got 2 more points in the last 2 more levels in the last test, so I'm going to go ahead and up this, which of course won't change my damage at all. So it's still basically the same test. What I'm going to go ahead and do is turn on debug mode so I can change the time. And we're going to set the day to, actually we're going to set it back to 7 so I can run the same test basically. Oh, 7, I want 7, thank you. And we are going to set the time to right before Horde Moon starts. And okay, should be getting red. It's not. I wonder if that's because I already did this Horde Moon. It's not going to spawn it again. That's okay. If it does pull that stunt, I'll just have to restart. Oh, now it's going red. It's just going to take forever to go red. And as you can see, and I'll show you the slowing effect that this maze has. It's crazy slowing. Turn debug mode back up. Okay, my game just locked up on me. Lovely. There it goes. That was weird. Okay, now see here, make sure we got some zombies running up the maze like they're supposed to be. Not seeing any. Oh crap, don't tell me. This happened last time too. Oh nope, there they are. Okay, perfect. And this is, look how slow they go. Easy peasy. This is realistic Horde 7, my levels, and this maze is buildable for day 7. Of course, you could build it for any of the higher ones too. But look how much the barbed wire slows the zombies. It's super slow. I mean, this is going to be easy. And I mean, they may not make it out of the first corner here. And this is a, I think my game day, I think it was like 55 or something like that. Let me look real fast. 58. And he still managed to fall off, even though no fancy. So they can still accidentally just wander right off. And look at the headshot level. It's just right there. Just keep firing, plucking away, hitting everything in the head, except for the guy that bobs his head left and right. You tend to hit the zombie behind him. And if they fall off, they got to go all the way back around. Just like with the angled pieces. It's just with the barbed wire, as you can see, it's a lot slower. The slowing effect of the barbed wire is insane. And as such, many people may consider this exploity. And so if you don't want exploity like this, then go ahead and go with the angled pieces so that you can knock them off the maze, like in my previous video. This one is, I mean, the slowing effect of barbed wire is insane. And you can do this base. I've used this base. I'm about to use a quarter of this base. It's not even done because I never bothered getting around to it because everything was going so well. In my survival game, 1/4 of this base is completed. I have 2 sides of it done. And on those 2 sides, and I'm on Horde 28, and I've been using the same base since Horde 7. Tonight will be my Horde 28, and of course I'll post that video like I always do of my Horde nights. But yeah, this is what Horde nights look like for me, just sitting there shooting things in the head with a bow and arrow, and getting all this lovely XP. That's so easy to get. I mean, look at this. They're not even... I'm already at 11 o'clock on Horde night, and they haven't made it, not even, this isn't, they'd have to make it 2, stand right in front of me to be an 1/8 of the way through this maze. Standing on the block directly in front of me would be an 1/8 of the way through the maze. So that's how well this works. Now, I've seen a lot of mazes, maze builds, and maze builds are the thing in this mode, in this game. Think tower defense and you're good. Now, there's tons of different ones. The spiral cage works great. I just prefer the elevated because of the chance of a reset. I mean, you hit something in the head, it falls off the maze like that guy right there just did, and he has to go all the way back around and try again. To me, that's just awesome, and that's why I like the elevated so much. So any maze you see can be made elevated. It's as simple as that. Just make it elevated and knock everything off. I mean, any maze build is viable in Alpha 17. I mean, whoop, dog went off. See, sometimes the dogs will make that turn, but sometimes they just do that. See, he made that turn. But if you do the angled pieces, you saw the dogs, they never made that turn, not once. But that's... yeah, and... yeah. The only problem with the fact that they're not making it a quarter of the way through is I'm standing too close to my door. And the thing about the maze is, for them to work, you cannot close yourself in. Zombies have to have a path to you. Which means I can't, like, block the door that's on my left. Which means there's always a chance a vulture can come in. Which of course means I can just stand like, come back up like this and have less likely to worry about the vulture. Because the door, as you can see, is right there. But look, we're about to hit midnight. They haven't even made it an 1/8 of the way through the maze. So, and this is a game stage 58 Horde. But my whole point is the fact that this works well past. I mean, my game stage in my survival game, I want to say is 80 something. I don't remember the last time I looked, so I'll have to look. But nonetheless, this is as simple as it can get when it comes to hordes. And of course, like I said in my previous videos, it's completely possible that you don't build this whole thing on the first night. I mean, day 7 horde, 1/4, you can build one side of this for the day 7 horde. And then the 14 horde, add another side to it. I mean, completely viable. It's a expandable base, so you don't have to have done by your first horde night. And all I'm using is a bow. It's a level 2 compound bow with one mod in it, and it's a blue dye. And I am using iron arrows, not even steel arrows, just regular old iron arrows. Of course, stone arrows would work too, but I was trying to keep this realistic. If I'm going to do level 58, level 31, day 58, I mean, iron arrows. You should have iron arrows by that time. So that, or game stage 58, day. So that's hence the iron arrows. I mean, but you should have iron arrows by then, and it's, as you can see, the zombies. I mean, the game is set to default settings, which means 8 zombies up at once. But because I'm killing them so fast, more and more keep spawning. So you can easily 3 or 4 levels in one horde night just by doing this, and you have nothing to worry about. It's not. I mean, they're not even getting close. The only thing you gotta worry about is having enough arrows to make it through the night. Which, a couple arrows, keep a gun on handy just in case you run out of arrows type thing. Or keep a bunch of stone arrows. I mean, they're not great, but they're better than nothing. And with as long as I have to kill these guys, they're not even making an 1/8 of the way through the maze. So if I was doing half the damage I'm doing right now, I'm still gonna kill them. As simple as that. So. For a second there, there's one of the ones I knocked off apparently. She just came back up and had an arrow stuck in her head still. So. And she just fell off, so she's going to have to go back around. She was not dead. And that crazy construction worker's hand kept blocking me from shooting that dog. Now there is the problem is some of the barbed wire may need to be replaced by the end of the night, because when the zombies start getting bunched up because you're shooting them and all that, they'll start bumping the barbed wire. But they won't bump much of it. I mean, most of the barbed wire survives the night, and you have to replace very, very little of it. So it's not a huge deal. But as you can see, this is just shooting fish in a barrel. They just move so slow. Even this is a horde night. This is a normal horde night speed, and this is how slow they're running through the barbed wire. And this is just barbed wire along the edges of the path. So that's so that they don't bump the barbed wire. That's just slowing them down. And so, whoop, I don't think he was dead. I think he just fell off. Yep, there she's back, with an arrow sticking out of her shoulder. And yeah. More leveling, more free experience. And That this is why this is one of my favorite builds for Horde Night, because it is easy to build. Like right off the bat, your day 7, my day 7, I built this out of wood, and the wooden bars that I put up on my day for my day 7 Horde are still up. I don't have iron bars up here. I'm on day 28 and seeing cops, but I don't have iron bars yet because the cops haven't managed to actually break through the wooden ones, and so I haven't bothered upgrading them. Because even if a cop managed to shoot and destroy one, I just sidestep so I'm not standing behind it and let him shoot another one. So I'm not super worried about it. So I haven't actually replaced the wooden bars on mine yet in my survival game. And so I'm not even. This is how easy Horde Night can be with one of these bases. I mean, how easy is this? I mean, I'm using a compound bow, iron arrows, at a game stage 58, and not having an issue. Oh, he's going back around. The only issues tend to be the ones that bob their head. There he is. He's the one. He's got an arrow sticking out of his face still. And if you kill them fast enough like that, you normally finish those zombies long before the Horde Night's over. Long before the Horde Night's over. Supposedly there's 2 hours of Horde Night left, but you will notice there are no more zombies spawning. So, yeah, that's actually normal for this base, to actually kill all the zombies and be like, oh, Horde Night's not over. Or Horde Night's over. Guess I'll just wander out and pick everything up. That's actually literally normally what I do about this time. Just jump out here. And go start collect recollect what arrows I can, harvest any of the dogs, that sort of thing. Come on. And you can of course jump to get through it a hair faster, but it's so minutely faster that it's not really worth it. But I could be harvesting these dogs if this is my survival game. See, there is one barbed wire missing there. That's why it's sped up right there. So you normally have to replace like 1 or 2 of your barbed wires. But for the most part, yeah, this is all this barbed wire is still intact, and of course everything past this point is, because this dog right here is the only thing that made it this far in my base, or in this defense. So that is what a Horde base, what this looks like when you use flat. I mean, it's a lot easier. Some people may consider using the barbed wire this way exploity, because it's not actually using the barbed wire, because barbed wire only takes damage if it does damage. And since this isn't actually hitting the zombies, it normally doesn't take any damage. So that is my demonstration of the flat blocked Horde base. So I'm all painful, and thank you for watching.